Welcome to today's session of CRM Functional Online Training. So let's start with what we'll get in today's session of Product Master. Today's session is divided into three parts. In the first part, we will be discussing about what we mean by Product Master, the different types of products used and their functionalities. In the second part, we will be discussing about how we can maintain and enhance the Product Master. In the third part, we will look into how you can structure the products into hierarchies and categories. So let's get started. What are products? Products are goods which are the object of a company's business activities. Products can be tangible, such as PC, or intangible, such as services like PC maintenance. The Product Master provides you with all information on the products that your company purchases and sells. It is the central source from which product-specific data can be retrieved. Product information is used in marketing, sales, service processes. The Product Master functionality is integrated into various business rules and therefore provides all functionality you require for working with products within the relevant business context. CRM system recognizes up to 6 different product types. The product types IP, financing, and financial services are industry specific. Now, product types are predefined in the system. The term product is usually used instead of material in the CRM web client UI. The ERP master data can be transferred to the CRM system. Like if you have a ERP backend system, you can also transfer the ERP products into CRM. Okay. So an ERP material master comprises various data and views, some of which cannot be processed in the CRM system. For example, accounting data. It is usually only general or basic data and sales specific data that can be transferred to the CRM system. So now we told what is product type. We told that there are 6 different product types. Okay. So the product type describes the basic characteristics of a product. It also determines to which product categories a product can be assigned, thus defining the structure of the product and how it can be used. So the different types of products are like material, service, warranty, financing, financial service, and intellectual properties. Okay. So as I have told you that the product types IP, intellectual property, financing, and financial service are industry specific. Okay. So what is the material? So the product type material is used for tangible goods that can be inventoried, counted or measured, and require moving and handling. Then what's a service? A service is the intangible equivalent of a good. Each service is unique. It is a one-time generated, rendered, and consumed. These can be internal services or service performed at customer place. Warranty. So what is a warranty? It's a commitment from a manufacturer, vendor, or salesperson to a customer that a product has no defects and that the services such as repairs and partial or complete exchange of defective parts is guaranteed for a particular period of time without the customer being billed. Example, a machine manufacturer is selling equipment and would like to give the customer specific warranties for various units of this equipment, like customer warranty. So the warranty for the engine will last 3 years and for the parts of the casting 10 years. In turn, warranties for parts that are prone to wear and tear should be based on the number of hours in service. So the firm only buys parts from their own suppliers to install in the installation. The manufacturer gets a warranty for this part from his or her vendors, so it's known as vendor warranty. The manufacturer wants to store these in the system so that any repair costs that may arise during the validity period of the vendor warranty can be charged to the vendor. Okay. So let's come down to financing. Financing product like lease can be defined in SAP CRM and can be connected related to tangible or intangible product. Okay. So data storage medium for financing relevant attributes that define the general condition under which certain physical products such as cars or computers can be financed. The essential condition include the term of financing, payment frequency, and payment form. You can define general terms and conditions in the financing product. Financing service. The financing service product enables you to store financing relevant attributes that define the basic conditions for financial services. Okay. Now, what's the intellectual property? Intellectual property is intangible property that is result of creativity, such as patents or trademarks or copyrights. Intellectual property can consist of various components, which in turn are independent intellectual properties. Okay. So these are some of the product types example that you can see. Premium support like service contract product, home delivery is a service product. Now storage facilities is a material, catering is a service product, customer warranty is a product form of type warranty. Okay. So what are the functionalities of a product? So a product will be packed with other product or services. A list of package of product is known as bill of materials. Okay. So we can also have configurable products where you can configure, like you are purchasing a personal computer, so you can configure what will be your RAM size, what will be your hard disk size. Okay. So these are known as configurable products. Now products are represented in the system by a number. So for that we need to create a number range, and which would be unique for the type of the product. So we can create number range for the product type. So we'll see in the system how we can do that. So let's go to the SAP system. So in my SPRO, I have to go to cross application components, SAP product, and then settings for product type. Over here I will see a node, number assignment. So you can see I can do the number assignment for material and service in the cross application components, and for the remaining products I have to go to CRM, master data, products, and over here settings for product type and number assignment. So I can define number range for financing service products, intellectual properties, and warranties. So these four types of products could be, numbers could be assigned to these products in the CRM, master data, and for the other two we have to go to cross application components, SAP product, settings for product type, and number assignment. Now how do we assign numbers? So let me give you a brief overview. We'll be looking into this in detail later on, but there is something known as categories which we'll be looking later on. Okay, so if I click on this node and I click on the group, so these are some of the group: CRM products, group without text, IOC technical object, and these are the base categories of the product. So what is the base category? We will look into it later on. But what we do is we assign this base category to one of these number groups. Okay, and inside this number range group we can assign the number range, one internal number assignment and one external number assignment. So you must be aware of what is an internal number assignment. Internal number is any number which SAP generates for you. An external number is a number which you would like to type in manually. So you can have the alphanumeric number range in external number. Okay. So what if you want a different group, you want to create a new group? So what you can do is you can click on this group, you can click on insert, and you can give the text name as like test product group. Okay, now as I told you, there will be two number intervals. You can assign only two intervals. One will be an internal number range, another will be external number range. So for that you can see external number range where there is a checkbox and it's already ticked, so you will assign the external number range over here. And internal number range, you can use the F4 help to look for it, what is the available number range. So you can see this two number ranges are available, so you can take this number range. But okay, you say that no, I don't want to use the entire number range, I will be using a little bit less. So maybe I'm using 1 2, I replace the 9 with 1. And for external number range, you have to know beforehand what is the number range that is available. So let's give it CCCC and DDDD, and let's check if this number range is available. So we saw that test product group was available, so I click on save. Now what if you want to change the number range? So you can click on this, you can go to interval and you can click on maintain. So there you can, again, if you want, you can change the number range. If you want to delete, you can select the number range and you can delete the number range like this. Okay, you can go back. See, I have the group which has the number range changed. Now if you want to assign any of the base categories to this group, what you have to do is, suppose I want to assign this group, I have to click on this group, I have to click on this button, select element, okay, and I have to click on element to group. So you see this category gets assigned to this group. So what is a base category, we'll be looking into detail later on, okay, but for the time being you just remember that we have categories which you can assign to our number range group. Inside the number range group we have the number range. One is the internal number range, another one is the external number range. Okay, now if you want to delete this number range group, how can you do it? What you have to do it is go to intervals, you have to click on maintain and you have to delete the interval first. So if you delete the interval and it doesn't have any interval, then it doesn't make sense for it to be there. So if you go back, you see the group gets deleted and you save it and you are done. So this is how we saw that we can create a number range group and we can assign the base categories to the groups, and whenever the products will be created by using those base categories, it will get the relevant grouping. So we'll be looking into it in details later on. Okay, so let's move on. So what is the structure of CRM product master? So in CRM product master, in any given product, you can see basic data, sales data, CRM data. So the basic data consists the information about the description, units of measure, the product category assigned. In sales data, you can see the distribution change, the grouping, the sales text. In CRM data, you can see marketing, size, color, and any additional information. So let's have a look into CRM product. Okay. So a product could be opened by using T code COMPR01, COMMPR01. Okay, you can use this T code to create a product or to display a product. So for creating a product, you have to click on material, service, financing, warranty, financial service. So we have a product open in our screen, that's a material kind. So I am the sales and distribution. So you can see we have sales unit, minimum order quantity, delivery unit, status, item category group, sales group, product taxes, sales text, this kind of information. In SAP basic data, we have the product categories that are assigned. We can assign the product status, whether to archive, log, delete it. We have the basic data for materials. We can assign the item category group and any descriptions, and any additional set types are also visible in the product. So now let's have a look how we can maintain a product. So as you saw that we can create a product or view a product through COMPR01. Okay, so that's the T code. So product maintenance in the CRM system can also take place in CRM web client UI. Okay, so the user role determines which product types could be maintained. If the material master of a connected ERP system is transferred to CRM system, Only limited changes can be made to the corresponding products. Okay. So SAP CRM Product Master allows to maintain product relationships. So you must be wondering, what's a product relationship? So it helps to record how products are related to each other or customers or competitors. Some examples are like has accessory, has old model, customer product number. So you can see the example of a bicycle having some accessories. So these relationships can be used in transactions. For example, when a product is being sold, the accessories can be suggested to the customer. The information on necessary accessories can be derived from the relationships maintained in Product Master. If a customer adds a product to the shopping cart, additional products can be suggested to him or her via the relationship accessories. On the accessories tab page, you can see whether a product is an accessory product or not. Okay. So now let's have a look into what is inactive products. So SAP CRM basically allows you to store inactive products. So it is expected that all the necessary information required about the product needs to be entered in a SAP CRM Product Master. But there could be instances where all the necessary information may not be available at that time of entering product information. Now, if for some reason product information is incomplete, what options do we have? Now, SAP CRM Product Master allows to save products with incomplete information. Okay, so you can save these products as inactive products, and later when all the information necessary for business process are available, these could be updated and products can be used in different business processes. So inactive products may be used for the following reasons. Now, products have data inconsistency and are therefore saved temporarily in an active form. Now, you may choose to save a product in temporary form to continue working on it at a later point of time. So inactive products can be activated when required and provided data inconsistencies has been corrected. Okay. So now we will look into how you can maintain and create products in the CRM web UI. Okay. So let's have a look into our web UI. So in the web UI, we'll look into a scenario of a sales manager who has taken on responsibility for creating a new product. He will also need to update the prices of some product in the system. Before he visits his biggest customer later this afternoon, he wants to review all the products that he is responsible for, and after the customer meeting, he would need to create a new opportunity for the customer and assign products to the opportunity. So we'll see how the sales manager uses the product in CRM as part of his job. So products provide the detailed information to sales about what the company sells. By adding product to transactions such as opportunities, the value of using the system is greatly enhanced. So we'll see how the end user can easily add or change products in the SAP CRM system, and these products can be available to other users in the system. You could also include these products in transactions and alter the price or quantity of the product that his customer is interested in. So let's see how the end user starts his day. So he opens his home page. As you can see, it's open in front of you. Now he can search for products from the home page using save searches that you can see at the top. So this is the save search area. Okay, so where you can search anything. So this is the user is searching for save searches, sales product. You can also create a product using navigation bar on the home page. So a new product creation screen opens before you. So over here he has to complete the mandatory fields. He can add additional information to the product he's created. Okay, so you can see the mandatory part over here is the product ID. So he enters the product ID, and then he enters the other attachments. You need to measure prices, categories, product attributes, text, descriptions, distribution chain. So what's the distribution chain? A distribution chain is a combination of sales organization and distribution channel. So you must be remembering, we discussed that What is a sales area? So sales area is a combination of sales organization, distribution channel and division. So if you don't take the division, then the combination of the sales organization and distribution channel is known as a distribution chain. Okay, so this is also used in pricing when we create transaction in the CRM system. So now the end user moves forward and he wants to update the prices to reflect current changes. So to do that, he needs to first search for the product from the application area for products. He applies relevant search criteria to search for products which he can save as save search. He executes the search by clicking on search and the filtered results are displayed below. So he selects the product that he wishes to update by clicking on the hyperlink in the product ID column in the search result area. So when the hyperlink is clicked, the product overview page appears. As you can see in the assignment block called prices, he clicks on edit list, which allows you to edit the current price of the product. So in the next screen, he can change the price directly or click on insert button and to add another price type like product price, customer specific product price, etc. And he can check consistency of the price. So you can see that consistency check was successful. So the user has identified a new opportunity for one of his customer. He also identified the product that the customer is interested in. So in the system, he creates a new opportunity. He moves to the item assignment block to assign the product to the opportunity. He clicks on the drop down box in the product ID column to choose the product. The search for the product pop-up box appears and he can filter the product to the one he wants to assign the new opportunity. So once he has identified the product, he selects the product in the search result list below. So once selected, he can assign the quantity of the item and change the sales price relevant to the opportunity. So we saw how the sales manager can create a product, change a product, search for a product and use a product in the transaction. So as we have seen in our product overview screen that we have some tabs like basic data, sales and distribution data and some other fields. So each of these tabs like basic data and sales and divisions contains some information about product categories, description, unit of measure. So what are these? These are being defined by certain fields such as units of measure, volume, gross weight, net weight, others. So these fields which define your product like unit of measure products are known as attributes, and these attributes are grouped together in a set type. Now this unit of measure, description, product categories are basically set types and each of which contain a list of attributes. So attributes are used to describe products and are grouped together into set types. The use of set types make it possible to model a product in detailed manner in your system. So the standard product master in SAP CRM provides a lot of commonly used product attributes to be maintained in various fields. For example, basic data set of fields can store product description, dimensions, weight, etc. And sales data sets can store sales related fields like minimum order quantity, sales status, delivery unit, etc. Now what if products to be maintained have attributes that are unique and there are no standard SAP CRM supplied fields? For example, mobile phone attributes like is this a camera, pixels, screen type, color screen, etc. So SAP CRM provides facility to create new set types and new attributes that can be assigned to the set types. Okay, so this way the product master can be easily extended to add new information that about the product. So here we will learn how we can extend the products. Okay, so what is an attribute? So attribute is defined in the system by RT code com_attr set. So we'll see in the system how you can define attributes. So here we have our GUI where we will go and execute the T code com_attr set. So you can note down this T code comm underscore attrz. So over here you can open any existing attribute or create new attribute, open a set type or create a new set type by clicking on display, change or create. So this is for maintaining the set types and attributes. Okay, so let's create a attribute. Okay, let's give it a name as z attr set10. So we are trying to create a new attribute and see how can we create a new attribute. So click on create. So over here you can see I can write a short text, so I can give it a name as my first attribute. So we have certain characteristics such as attribute type, attribute length, decimal places, select value table and multiple values possible. So what we have in attribute type is checkbox, character string, currency, amount, date. So attribute is defined by either a combination of its date type, like we saw the integer, character string or date. So if we select character string, so then we have the field active for inserting the attribute length. So we can give its length as suppose 15. Now we can also select value table. Okay, so or a value range over here. So if you enter a table name in the value table, then those values, means if I select this field, then the value table would get enabled. So I can insert a value table from where only I can select the values for my attribute. Optionally I can give a value range. So in there I can give some fixed values or some range interval. Since it's a character, it will be a single value, so I can give like first, second. So these are like keys, and third, and fixed value description is first value, second value, third value. So I have given 3 values for this value range. If I click on enter, you can see it comes down in the lower portion, language specific description for the fixed values. Now again go back to my definition part. So we saw on the value range tab we can specify either single values or value ranges for the attribute. Okay, now we have the multiple values possible field. So you can define an attribute with single values or multiple values, like for example the attribute color with the value red, green and blue. So a car can either be a red, green or blue. However, you can define the attribute optional extras. Okay, so with the value radio and sunroof. So this is a multi-value attribute, as a car can have both a radio and sunroof. Okay, so to actually use this attribute as a multiple value attribute, you must define it as such when assigning it to the set type. So this involves setting in multiple values indicator, so which we will be saying later on. So I kept this without checking this multiple value possible, and lowercase is if you want the descriptions to be in lowercase. Okay, so I am not clicking this multiple value possible and I'm clicking on save. So I'm created my first attribute. I go back and I create my second attribute by giving name zattr set20, and I click on create, and I give it a attribute type as amount, and I give it here second attribute. Okay, I go to value range. So over here, see, since I have selected it to be a amount, I am not getting a value range. I cannot select it. Okay, so you saw that based upon the attribute type, this value range or value table gets enabled. Now let's change it to integer. So attribute length is 3. So over here you can see multiple value possible is enabled. If I go to value range, I can give limits. So single value, upper limit. Okay, so I can give from 1 to 10. First value range, then from 11 to 20. Second value range, I go to definition and I click multiple value possible and I click on save. Okay, so what we have done is we have created two attributes, one with attribute type character and second with attribute type integer. The first one didn't have multiple value possible and the second attribute has the field multiple value possible. And in the value ranges and in case of characters we had only single values enabled, but in case of integers we have the lower limit and upper limit, so we can give actually the ranges. So we have created two attributes. Now let's create a set type. Okay, so let's give it a name Z set10 and click on create. Now you have to give a description and select the product type for which you are creating this set type. So let's give the description as my first set type and I select this for a material. Okay, then we have these characteristics: organization dependency, multiple use, template enabled, object family, and CDB table. So we'll be looking into these in detail. So let's talk about multiple use. So by setting the multiple use indicator, each data record of a set type is assigned indirectly to a product using an assignment table. This means you could assign the attribute value of a set type to more than one product in future releases. For example, general data such as unit or measure for a product is likely to be the same for several products. Now, by not setting the multiple use indicator, each data record is assigned directly to one product. Now, this is beneficial for performance and data volume, particularly when large numbers of products are expected. If you are expecting a large number of products and it is not likely that the various data records of a set type will be used more than one product, you should not set this indicator. For example, the serial number of a technical device will probably not be used by more than one product. Okay, so let's go and check this template enabled. So what is a template? A template is for avoiding multiple times of entry by the end user. If you are likely to be using the same data again and again, so it's better that you assign that to a template and use it directly in the product so that the information comes automatically, and if you want you can modify and change the data as per your requirement. Okay, so we'll be looking at the functionality of templates. Now first, assign the attributes which we have created. We have created attribute ZATTR10. I click on enter. No, I don't think this was my attribute. Let's find my attribute. Yeah, so my first attribute is ZATTR set10. So my description was my first attribute, so you can always check your attribute by its description. So then we have different fields. Field is key, multiple values, BW relevant, relevant for BW selections. So as we have not set the multiple values for the attribute, so this field is grayed out. Now let's see the other attribute, ZATTR set 20, second attribute. So you see this field becomes active as we have defined this attribute as multiple values. So if I click on this value, only then this attribute becomes really multiple attribute. So what I mean to say is, by just setting the attribute as multi-valued in the com_ATTR set and in attributes, you don't actually get the functionality of a multiple value attribute. So you have to set that it should act as a multi-value attributes in the set type. Okay, so if you select as a multi-valued attributes, then you can assign the different values for it. Like in my first attribute, I can only assign one value. Okay, but for my second attributes, I have given some ranges, so I can assign multiple ranges to the field. So this is actually useful when I have I have a car, so its color, so color becomes ZATTR set. So color can either be blue or a red or a yellow. But the accessories, so my accessories can be a radio, can be AC. So I can have multi attributes. It has accessories, various kinds of accessories could be present in my car. So that needs to be done as multi-valued. Okay, then we have a field known as field is key. So what's a key field? Now if at least one of the attributes of a set type is designated as a key field, several entries can be made for each field of this set type. When creating or changing product data, the attribute of this set type are maintained in tabular form. Okay, so the set type for which additional key fields are defined are known as multi-line set types, whereas single line set types are those without additional key fields. Okay, now the BW relevant thing is for business warehouse, whether this field is relevant for BW reporting or not. Okay, so let's save this set type. So over here I have a field known as organization dependency. So I have two values, whether it's organization independent or it's a distribution chain dependent. Okay, so what's the organization dependency? It allows you to generate set types either dependent on the distribution chain or independent of the distribution chain. This means that the value of all attributes in a distribution chain dependent set type are specified for a specific sales organization and distribution channel. So set types designated for multiple use, whether single line or multi-line, can be organization dependent, whereas set type not designated for multiple use, irrespective of whether they are single line or multi-line, and always organization independent. So please note this point, okay? That the set types designated for multiple use, whether they are single line or multi-line, can be organization dependent, whereas set type not designated for multiple use, irrespective of whether they are single line or multi-line, are always organization independent. Okay, so since I have declared them as multiple use, so it's always organization independent. Okay, so now we'll see how the template enable field that we have marked over here allows us to predefine and therefore standardize data for set type. So the data is referenced by the set type on the product page, and the template themselves will be defined in customizing for cross application component in SAP product template. So let's go back and go to SPRO. Now in SPRO we'll go to SAP reference IMG and then cross application components, SAP products, templates. Okay, so we have also seen in templates in business partners. We have templates basically in two areas. One is business partner and other being product. So we'll maintain the mini templates. Okay, so when I click on create template, I have to select the application object. So there are two application objects, as I told. One is a business partner, other is a product. So I'll be selecting products because I want to create the product. Now I have to select the mini template type. So as we have selected that my set type is template enable, so SAP automatically creates two mini template types, one being organization independent and one being organization dependent for the product. So let's click on F4 help and click on ZSet10. So you can see there are two mini template types created, ZSet10 and ZSet10 organization dependent. So we can insert the values in the organization independent mini template type and assign that to organization dependent. Okay, so let's give value to ZSet10 and mini template name, suppose ZSet mini template, ZSet10 mini template. Okay, so click on stick mark. So I can give some template description over here, and I can add the attribute, my first attribute and second attribute. So if you remember, my first attribute was not multi-valued, so I select first, and my second attribute I had two value ranges, so I select the first value range. Then I again click on the plus button, and since my second attribute was multi-valued, let's again try to assign the other attribute second value range. So you see two values got inserted, one with one and other being second. So we see the first value from the value ranges of the two range that we have defined gets assigned. We can even change this number to 3 and over here to 15. Okay, so you see that for the two ranges, we have the first range from 1 to 10 and second range for 11 to 20. So we have once assigned 15 and then assigned 3. So from this range I have assigned 3, and from this range I have assigned 15. So if I don't select it, then the first value gets basically selected. Okay, but if I try to select a multi-value for my first attribute for which I have not defined it as a multi-attribute, then you will see that it gets replaced. You see that gets replaced. We are not able to assign multi-attributes. Okay, if I select third, then the second one will get replaced. Why? Because it's not a multi-value attribute. You can have only one value, whereas the second attribute was defined as a multi-value attribute. Okay, so let's save it. So I'm done. I go back. Now just to revise, I'm again going back and showing you the attributes. So let's see the attribute 20. You can change. See, I have defined as a multi-value possible, and the value range was 1 to 10, 11 to 20. Okay, we went back and we select the attribute 10. Click on change. We see it's not a multi-value attributes, and we had 3 values assigned to it, single values assigned to it. Okay, and let's again see the set type. Click on display. So we see that it's template enabled, so automatically we could create a template. We have selected the product type material, and organization dependency was organization independent, and the two attributes were set, and this 20 was set as multi-valued attributes. Okay, now again let's go back to the template framework. SPRO, we'll go to cross application components, SAP product, templates, maintain mini templates, and let's create another template. So I will be sending as prod. Now mini template type, I will again set search for ZSet10. So initially I had set as organization independent. Now let's select as organization dependent, and mini template as ZSet temp organization dependent. Now I will select on plus. I will select my mini template. I get ZSet10 and template description. Since I have not given anything, it doesn't appear. I click on save. I go back. So you saw how we can create the mini template organization independent. where we are assigning the values, the data, and then we are assigning to the organization dependent templates. Okay, well, so we saw that how if the SAP provided set types are not sufficient for our need, we can define additional set type of our own and assign attributes to them. The attributes can be those predefined in the standard system, and also attributes including value ring that we have defined ourselves. So if a set type is already assigned to a product category, so it's possible to change the set type description and if necessary add other attributes. So only those set types that are no longer assigned to a category can be deleted. So if you have a set type that is assigned to a category, you cannot delete. Okay. So the integration of the customer specific set type into the CRM web client UI application is possible via so-called enhancements, which you will learn while we will be dealing with web UI customization. Okay. So we saw that how we can use the template framework to maintain many templates, which can be reused by many product master records. So you assign the mini templates to category and hierarchy maintenance, and mini templates are therefore not assigned directly to products. So this functionality will be looking when we will be learning what is category, what is hierarchy, and how to assign the set types to category and make use of the templates. Okay. So during product maintenance, the category for the product in questions are read at runtime, and if a mini template is found, its data is read to the corresponding attribute of the product if this product does not already have its own data. Okay. So let's now learn about categories and hierarchies, which we were talking about. So categories and hierarchies, so these are used for structuring purpose and allow you to group together products according to different criteria. So categories define which set types and relationships types are allowed for a product, thereby enable you to structure the information you require on your product through the assignment of categories. So we have seen that we have all the attributes in a set type. So these set types values needs to be available in product. So how to go for it? What we do is we assign the set types to category, and the categories are assigned to hierarchies, and we map the hierarchies with the product type or applications, which we'll see in SPRO few minutes from now. Okay, so we have also seen that the category controls products by assigning the number range. We had seen that we are creating a number range group where we have the number range intervals, internal and external, assigned to the group. And to the groups, I told you that we can assign the base categories. So when you are creating a product, you need to refer to a category, and from that category you can pull the number range information, you can pull the set type information, you can pull the relationships. Okay, so basically a category is defining your product. Okay, so categories and hierarchies are used to group products and individual objects according to different criteria. So the purpose of a hierarchy will depend on the business criteria involved and your company's requirement. So a hierarchy can be multi-level and used for control or informative purpose. Just like as you can see in the screen, we have a customer hierarchy which has the category vehicles, which has a set type set A, which can in turn have two set categories, category cars and category trucks, which will inherit the properties that this category vehicles had. So the set type A, which has been assigned to category vehicles, is passed on to the lower level categories as an inherited set type. Okay, so we can refer the product C01 and C02 from the category cars and create the products, and similarly product T01 and product T02 are created by referencing to the category trucks. So all these products have the set types set A, because which has been assigned to category vehicles. So if vehicles have certain properties, those are passed on to the categories cars and trucks, and the unique property that this category have is also passed down to the products which references it to create. Okay, so we'll see how we can assign the hierarchies to application area and product type. Okay, so within the product master, when we assign a hierarchy to the application, products enables it to be used as base hierarchy within the product master, and each product or individual object created must be assigned to a category from this base hierarchy. So let's see it in the system. We'll go to SPRO, SAP reference IMG, then in cross application components, in SAP product. So over here we have to go to product category and we have to assign the category hierarchy to applications. Okay, so as you can see that we have assigned certain hierarchies to this application. So suppose let's take the example of this product. So we have the application product to which we have assigned a hierarchy. So when we are creating a product, a category which has been assigned to this hierarchy could be used for creating the product. Okay, now this is a generic assignment of the applications to hierarchy. We can also have a specific assignment of product type to the hierarchy, like material, service, financing, warranty, IP, financial service. Okay, so in case we are making this specific assignment of hierarchies to the product types, the values or the hierarchies which has been assigned at the generic level over hierarchies to applications would be overridden with this details. Okay, so this data overrides the data that has been maintained over here. Okay, so within the product master, when you are assigning a hierarchy to the application, products enables it to be used as base hierarchy within the product master, and each product or individual object created must be assigned to a category from this base hierarchy. Now, as we have seen, the product categories are used to group products together according to various criteria, and a hierarchy may consist of various subcategories and responsibilities can be mapped to these categories. We can see a hierarchy node from where we can have two categories like software and hardware, and in turn we can create subcategories from hardware like desktop, laptop, printers. Okay, so the assignment of a product can be changed or deleted. Okay, so categories are arranged in hierarchies, and all lower level categories inherits the product type and set type of the higher level category, and additional set types can be assigned to lower level categories. So the lower level categories will inherit the set types which has been assigned to the higher level categories, and also certain special or specific set types could be assigned to the subcategories. Okay, so if a product type is assigned to a category, only products or individual object of this product type can be assigned to the category. So assigning a product type to a category makes it possible to assign set types to the category. In product or individual object maintenance, these set types appear within the views, that is on the tab pages that can be maintained for a product or individual object. So we will be seeing how we can make a particular set type available in a particular view. Okay, so to prevent a set type from being assigned to a product or individual object more than once by different categories, we have certain rules in place. Okay, so what are those rules? Set type may be assigned to several categories in a hierarchy. Okay, so I have one set type, I can assign it to several categories within a hierarchy. However, a set type may be assigned only in one hierarchy per product type. Okay, so within a particular hierarchy, okay, so it can be assigned to only one product type. For example, a set type cannot be assigned to two categories in different hierarchy if these categories have the same product type. If it is a different product type, it is possible. So a product or individual object can be assigned to several product categories as long as they belong to different hierarchies. A product or individual object can therefore only be assigned to one category per hierarchy. So if you are creating a product, it can only reference to one category in a hierarchy, but it can reference to different categories from different hierarchies. Okay, so let's see how we can create hierarchies and categories and how do they look like. So we can go back and we have a T code that is COMM underscore hierarchy. So you can note down this T code COMM underscore hierarchy. So this is used for creating new hierarchy, viewing a hierarchy, or viewing a category. Okay, so let's open a category, mat underscore HLB. So over here, if you go to hierarchy, you can see we have one hierarchy ID which has several categories and subcategories defined. Okay, so we are looking into this mat underscore HALB category. So if you go to this category, I can see the product type that is being used is material. I can have a object family. Okay, and I have a category ID, a person responsible, some descriptions, alternate ID type, and I can also maintain set types in this set types tab. So you can see there are several set types that has been assigned over here, out of which some are standard set types like this com underscore pr mat, com underscore pr sh text, and there are certain z set types that has been defined. Okay, so the set types that are flowing from a higher level category are being shown as inherited. See, the inherited checkbox has been ticked over here, and I have a view ID. So in which view I want the information to be available. Okay, so you have several views and you can define it according to your requirement. Now let me tell you, there are certain standard set types which you have to assign if you are creating a product. Okay, like if you are creating a material, then this set type com underscore pr mat, the basic data for materials, this has to be assigned, without which you cannot proceed creating a material. Okay, then there is compr sh type. This is also very important set type. This is used for description. Then compr unit for units of measure, compr length, lg text, basic text, compr gtin, global trade number. Okay, so these are the standard set type. It starts with com or crmm. Okay, then there are certain set types which start with z. So these are custom built set types. So any set type that you are creating would start with a z. Okay, any set type which has been created already will start with this kind of names. So you have to know from the SAP standard building blocks what are the prerequisites for creating what type of products, what are the prerequisite set type that has to assign to category for creating what product types. Okay, then you can maintain the relationship types. Okay, you can have several relationship types like accessories of product or use part of or product that are accessories. So you can create several relationship types. Okay, another thing I want to tell you is we can also control the position in which they will be appearing in a particular view. Okay, and we saw that we created templates for products for set types. So these templates which we have created for a particular set type could be assigned over here. So if you are setting this template to the corresponding set type, so when you will be creating a product by referencing this category, the value of the template will be automatically available in your product. Okay, so now let's see that what are the things that we need to do for enhancing the product master. We have to create hierarchy, we have to create categories within a hierarchy, then we have to make the assignment of your hierarchies to the application type or the product type, so that if you are creating a material, that some category from that hierarchy could be used as a base category. And then you have to create attributes which you have to assign to set type and which in turn gets assigned to a category. So the values could be referenced in your product. So the various elements for enhancing the product masters are hierarchies, categories, set types and attributes. So let's talk about how these are mapped to the technical objects behind the scene. Now creation of attributes will create data element and domain. Okay, and creation of set type will create tables, function modules, function groups and screens. Okay, so this is how we can enhance the product master. So in our next session, we'll be looking how we can create a new hierarchy, a new category, assign the set types, assign the templates to it and create a product. So we'll look into how we can create a product by using our T code compr01. So thanks a lot for your attention and wish you happy learning.